Recently, I received a message asking my thoughts about shadow people and shadow beings, and I thought we would cover that topic today. And here we go. First of all, I want to talk about how we can experience shadow beings, what they look like. They can take on humanoid form. Sometimes they look like a big dark mass. And we often see them in the peripheral vision. They often move very quickly across walls, ceilings, and around corners. And again, we'll just catch them in little flashes, which can be really frightening and confusing to people about what's going on. And our logical mind kicks in, and did we see that? Didn't we see that? And it can create some fear and initial anxiety. So oftentimes when I'm working in spaces with claims or reports of shadow beings, I'm looking for that movement with intention, so that like they're going somewhere or through something or walking through, which might indicate to me portal of some kind and whatnot. So it's important to know how they move quickly, often in our peripheral vision, and not straight on. I'm looking at notes, guys. So they move quickly or slowly, and above all, I think we should know that they're shapeshifters. Shadow people can shapeshift into any form that they want. I think so many of you really like the paranormal shows, and we often hear reports of it was a little girl, it was in period clothing. It could really present in those kind of forms too, if you have a really condensed infestation of a shadow person. What are shadow people? And is probably the next logical question. And I really want to talk about the invisible world, the spirit world, and how many different kinds of spirits there are. I mean, if we look in nature, if we look at humans, there's just all kinds of species of spirits. And it reflects that in the invisible world as well. It can range from ambivalent, spirit guides, ancestors, angelic-like entities that will help us to be safe or move forward in our journey or lead us, all the way to the malevolent, succubus, parasitical kinds of energies. So there's just this great big spectrum of what a shadow being could be. And I think it's a lot to do with the circumstances and energy in the space that you're having that difficulty with, in the space that you're seeing the shadow beings. Typically though, straightforwardly, most people put shadow people in one of two camps. They're the jinn or they're demons, one or the other, and nothing in between. And frankly, that's not been my experience. It could be a lot of different things, and again, circumstantial. I feel like a practitioner would need to come and really do some work to get to the root cause and to see if they can find a remedy to help you out. So here's a tip that I would say. When we see shadow people or shadow beings, if they have any substance, you're going to have a physiological response. When we work with spirits, chthonic spirits, or we work with goetic spirits, things like this, any practitioner will tell you, you do have a physical response to them. So if you're seeing them in your peripheral and you're not getting any physical response with it, it could be something else. But if you have a shadow spirit and you feel hot or cold, either one, I have worked with angelic forces before and get really cold. So cold spots to me aren't entirely an indication of a malevolent spirit. So hot, cold, goosebumps, the hair on your neck stands up or your arms. I often get a stabbing headache when I'm near a malevolent force like that. Pressure on the crown chakra, pressure in the lower diem and the lower chakras, vertigo, fear, fight or flight, adrenaline, nausea is another one. So typically if you're seeing a shadow spirit and you're not having any of those physiological responses, you may just want to take a few deep breaths and reset and just be aware and begin to notice if it happens again, and notice what else is going on in your home or space that you're seeing the shadow people in. I think it's important to note here, we don't want to get shadow people twisted with urban legends like the Hat Man or the Slender Man. Like this is very different. We're talking about actual entities and that can move and work in intelligent ways, intelligent beings, not an urban legend. So I really wanted to make a note of that. As far as the demon and angel, or the demon and jinn camp, I haven't found that either one of those really care for humans a lot. I mean, there are magicians who try to talk to and build relationships with demons, and of course that can happen, but you know, it's not so easy as the movies. I really want us to move away from the sensationalizing of spirits and entities in the invisible world. Here are some things I have down as suggestions if you're experiencing shadow people. In addition to, if there is a great amount of activity going on in your home, such as things moving around, people constantly arguing, you know, a tension there, a darkness on the home, nightmares, and constantly seeing shadow people moving around, you'll certainly feel the presence if it's authentic. I would really suggest to you to contact a shaman or a medicine woman or man, a medicine healer, or a practitioner of the occult that is well versed in working with these types of entities and knows what to do. Please do not contact your local paranormal investigation group. You just don't do that. Don't contact your friend's friend who likes to throw tarot cards, you know, and does things like this as a hobby. Clearly, when you have shadow beings around and you have that kind of activity in your home, you certainly want someone who is discerning, has a solid practice, and you know, the tools to be able to help you and not make it worse. Secondly, if you're not at this stage where you really need to contact a professional, here are some things that you can do around your house to lift the vibration. And I think that that's really important when you're dealing with shadow entities like this, is to raise your own vibration, your family's vibration, and your home vibration. Oftentimes, you know, we can dial our intuition up or down, our vibration can dial in or out. And so when I say lift your vibration and your family's vibration and the vibration of your home, It's basically lifting out of that, so that you're not going to see those kinds of those kinds of things and have those experiences, because the vibration will be too high for those kinds of entities like shadow beings to hang out in. You can do this by blessing your home. You can use salt, you can use anointing oil, holy water. I really like to cut down on like violent TV shows kind of playing, or, and I hate to say it, but like heavy metal and very dense, energetic media. You might want to cut that down, or even out for a while, so that, you know, those things are attracted to those lower vibrational things. Not that they're bad, don't beat me up about that, but you really want to cleanse your space. You want to cleanse yourself, cleanse your family, and move into a higher state of being, or higher state of consciousness. And those entities just can't live in that space. I often like to repeat Psalm 91, which is a great protection psalm. It's a great protection psalm for your home and for your own self. My preference is to listen to it in Aramaic. That's very helpful. You can clean up your space if you have a lot of dirt and clutter and chaos going on in your home. You might want to find ways that you can kind of clear out that chaos, maybe clean up your space. A lot of practitioners, before we sit down to meditation or do any kind of ritual work, there's a few days of cleansing. It might be fasting, and it might be cleaning your altars, cleaning your space, and preparing for the work that you need to get to those higher vibrations and higher levels of consciousness. So I really suggest you do that. If you have your house all kind of closed up and it's very dark, I suggest letting the sun shine in. I know that sounds menial, like a small thing, but honestly, let some sunshine in, light a candle, say an authentic prayer if you're not comfortable with repeating the Psalm 91. Find ways that can lighten your energetic being and bring you to a higher consciousness. And again, don't hesitate to contact a professional if you're having a lot of activity in your home or your space in dealing with these shadow beings. They're really no joke if they're the real deal. Let me know if you have questions. It's been a great talk, and I appreciate you and your questions. So send some more if you like. I'll try to get to them. As always, be well. Take care. Hi. I was recently asked, I'm going to start again. 1, 2, 3. Hello. Try again.